It's time for the October Oscar predictions. Let's get it started with the best picture. Before we get started though, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a lot. I'm on the road to 800 subscribers. Also, leave your own predictions down below in the comments. It's fine if you're wrong. I'm going to be very wrong. We're months away from the Oscar ceremony happening, so just leave your predictions down below. But best picture, I've made a few changes here since my September video. In the race, I pushed Gladiator 2 all the way down to 13. It was in the top 10 in the last video, I'm pretty sure. I still have a lot of faith in this movie. I really do like that second trailer that we got like 2 weeks ago. I think that this is going to be a big comeback for Ridley Scott after Napoleon was just really not that great. And I just really like the look of this movie. But is it Best Picture worthy? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Academy voters will care to put this in picture. I do have it in some other categories you'll see, but I just don't have it in picture anymore. 12 Eyed Blitz, I really did like that first trailer that Apple released. I saw it in theaters too, the trailer on the big screen. It looks really good. I'm just not sure how confident I am with this movie. I do have it in a lot of other categories. I do have it, in the race, though. I feel like I could put it in there once I do see. I think it comes out in November, so we'll be seeing it pretty soon. 11, I Have a Real Pain. I'm not actually sure when this comes out. I think it's hitting theaters in November. Not sure if that's a limited release or a wide release. I saw the second trailer. I think it looks pretty good. I'm just not sure how big this movie will be and if it will succeed at the box office. Sure, it's not always about the box office, but sometimes it is. Sometimes box office can really help with this longevity into the Oscar votes. I just don't know if it's going to be big enough, and I don't know if it's going to be, that one that stands out for Oscar voters. So that's all the ones in the race. Number 10, I still have a complete unknown. I'm pretty sure this was in the 10 spot from last video. I think it will get in. It's a biopic. Usually, like, I don't know, 8 out of 10 times biopics get into Best Picture, no matter how good or bad they are. Like, a lot of people hated Elvis, but that still got into Best Picture, Best Actor, all that other stuff. I think editing it got in for a lot. And, it wasn't, the greatest movie. Not a lot of people loved it. Bohemian Rhapsody, a lot of people turned on that when that came out, but it still won a decent amount, still got nominated for a decent amount. So if you're doing a biopic, it's usually going to get into picture. I don't care for the title though. I think it's a dumb title, a complete unknown. I think it is going to be a pretty big success, but we'll see how crowded it is in December. It is really crowded there, so it might just be lost in the shuffle. We'll see how it goes. Number 9 is a newcomer on this list. It is Juror number 2. This is going to be a really interesting one. Clint Eastwood's last film, supposedly. He's getting pretty old, so I would assume it's his last one. He's like 90 something, this man. Yeah, the first trailer came out and damn, it looks good. And this is going to be a courtroom drama, if you haven't seen the trailer, about Nicholas Hoult, and there's like a murder, and he's a juror for this one, but he's actually like a suspect. He's actually the person who did it. I'm pretty sure that's what the trailer was saying, but he's not a suspect. He's on the jury. So that would be really cool. And supposedly it is very long. I think it's about 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes so far now. Yeah, it's very long. No one's seen it yet, so we have no official thoughts or reviews on this one. I just think it looks fantastic. I think the score could get into best score, but I don't have it in there right now. But yeah, I decided to put that in. Number 8, I have Saturday Night. Still think that this one is going to get in, but maybe it could fall. Maybe it will not be a success. It's coming out this weekend. I'm going to see it this weekend. Maybe I'll hate it, but I don't know. I'm filming this before it comes out. 7, I have Nickel Boys. Still very confident in this one. I'm actually, with this one, I'm not sure when it comes out. I think it's coming out in November. I don't know. These limited releases are throwing me off because I don't live in a place where we get limited. I get it when it goes wide, so I never know if it's going wide. But it's also going to hit Amazon Prime probably by the end of the year. They'd probably want to get it out for a lot of people to watch it. Yeah, trailer looks magnificent though. 6, I have Conclave. I dropped this one just a little bit because it's kind of lost a little bit of steam. Coming out in 2 weeks, no sign of ticket sales. Whatever's going on with this one, I feel like conversations have just kind of flattened out, but I'd still put it in there at 6. Right in the middle of the pack, I have Emilia Perez. I've seen some people have a lot of confidence in this one. I'm still not really believing in it. The second trailer came out. It looks decent, but it kind of looks like a mess at the same time. And on Letterboxd, I've seen people love it, like 5 stars, 4.5. I've seen people not love it, like 2, 2.5, maybe 3 stars. it is kind of the most divisive one that I've seen out of the 10 that I have here. It's probably a little bit more positive than negative, but it still is pretty divisive. And there's some people really don't care for the musical elements. Some people think it's just a very messy film with not that great of a script. Then other people think it is great, think it's a very big achievement for film. And we'll see what Netflix does with this, because they do have some other films they could push, but I think they're going to be pushing this one mainly for performances and songs and all that. I just think that this one, as you'll see in my video, I think it's going to get a lot of nominations, but I don't think it's going to get a lot of wins. I think it's going to be like last year's Killers of the Flower Moon, like 13, 12 nominations, 0 wins. Maybe 1 win for song, but I think it's going to be one of those where it just, a lot of nominations, not a lot of wins. 4, I got Sing Sing. I've dropped this one. I had it at 3. It's just, it's not going to happen, sadly. You know, I think they should have just had it come out last year, even though it probably would have lost to Oppenheimer still. But this one premiered at the fall festivals last year, and then they kept it for a whole year to hardly release it in wide theaters. Maybe A24 will release it in more theaters later in the year, but I think that time's passed. They released it in like 500 theaters in the summer. I hardly had time to go see it. I hardly had a theater showing it near me. A lot of people on the internet said they couldn't find a theater near them to go see it. A24 is not releasing their damn movies to wide theaters. They're hurting their movies. I don't know what they're going to do with The Brutalist. Is that one going to reach past, 500 theaters, 1,000 theaters? It is so disappointing. They picked up The Brutalist probably because they saw that Sing Sing was losing a lot of momentum. But how are they going to treat The Brutalist? I hope they treat it better than Sing Sing, because they just let an amazing movie go to waste, and it's not even on digital yet, which I'm assuming is because they're going to try to push it again in December. But I don't care. I think that they should just put it on digital, because they suck at pushing their movies, suck at marketing them. A Different Man is flopping because they didn't market it. They're just showing that they're just not a great distributor. Civil War was a great release for them because it was a wide release, marketed very well. But half their other movies don't make profit. It's kind of boggling, man. Neon does such a better job. 3 of Dune Part 2. Haven't moved this one. Feel like the 2 above it are just gonna really outshine it, but it's still my favorite movie of the year so far. And I think it's still gonna get locked up for a lot of nominations, a lot of technical wins. 2 of The Brutalist. I moved it down from number 1 only because I haven't seen anything from it. I think a trailer will come out though, either later this month or November, to play in front of some of A24's movies like We Live in a Time, Heretic. They probably should, I hope they release a trailer, but we know it's A24. You should play some trailers in front of your movies if you're going to release this. December, opening limited, not even wide. January, hopefully it releases wide. They got to do a better job marketing these movies. I know this is a 3.5-hour epic that's gotten, 5-star reviews, 4.5 from film festivals, but if they don't market their movies, if they don't release them wide, then it's not going to win, and they don't deserve to win for it. So I don't know what to say for them. That's why first I have Anora. This is from Neon. They're marketing the hell out of this movie. They had one problem though with the quote saying this is Pretty Woman, but for Disney and all that, and Pretty Woman is a Disney movie, so that was a bad point for them. But they're just marketing this left and right, seeing TikTok ads, seeing some YouTube ads, just Twitter going crazy, Instagram going crazy. Yeah, they're marketing this very well. I think Neon has done a great job with this year with marketing their films, especially Longlegs, even though people got mad at that marketing from a opinionated quote, which I think was funny. But yeah, they're just a very great studio, and I hope they do a lot with The Life of Chuck next year, because that moved to next year. Anora, though, I have not seen a bad review of Anora. Everyone I'm following on Letterboxd has given it a 4 or above. I haven't seen anything below a 4. And I'm probably saying November, because it's not going wide until November. I thought it was going wide on the 18th. Then they published a tweet like last week that said wide November 8th. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me, Neon? That's okay. I can wait the 2 weeks. But I'm very excited for Anora. I had that in number 1 just because I feel like the marketing is doing much better. And it's just, it has a lot out, has a lot of reviews out. It looks the strongest. In Best Director in the race, I have number 7, Greg Quidar for Sing Sing. I don't think that he's going to get in as much as I want him to get in. I just think that he's dropping for me. Number 6, I have Yaquis Audiard. I think that's how you say the name, for Emile Perez. It's going to be a heavily directed movie. You can see that from the trailers. A lot of different things moving at the same time. I feel like the top 5 over this will just get in over it, but we'll see how that shapes up when the movie does come out in November. For number 5, I have Ramel Moss for Nickel Boys. I think this is the same placement I had him in since last video. It looks very, very great, man. The direction here, just from watching the trailer, we're talking about like the first person POV and how that is very experimental. I don't think I've seen a movie like that before. Some people said they don't like the first person POV, but I think it's just such an interesting thing to play with as a director, and it might be hard to direct something like that. I love when directors experiment with different stuff, and Ramel Moss is showing that they are. So I really think that they could get in for that. 4, I have Edward Berger for Conclave. I think this one would be an obvious nomination. Edward Berger has gotten in. He got in for All Quiet, and he's shown that he's a very great director, knows how to direct his movies. So yeah, keeping him in. 3, Brady Corbett, sorry, for The Brutalist. I still have him in. I dropped him a couple places. As I said, haven't seen the movie, haven't seen anything from it, but I do love how he's come out and said this is like but the budget was only like 10 million, 9 million or all that for 3.5 hour movie. And he's saying like, yeah, it's only that much because no producers are going out to dinner. So that costs a lot of money, talking about things that are useless. They're using everything that they have, and they're not doing anything useless with the budget like some other big movies do. So I'm really actually happy he's having those conversations online, releasing those comments. But I'm hoping that he has great direction in this one. And 3.5 hour movies are always hard to direct, so we'll probably see him get in. 2, I got Denis Villeneuve. If he gets snubbed like the first one, I don't know what to say. I don't think he's gonna get snubbed. I think the Academy voters heard our comments about how he got snubbed, and they're gonna put him in for this one. First, I still have Sean Baker for Anora. I think it's his time to win after getting just so many good movies out. I'm not sure if he's ever been nominated for director. I wouldn't think so, at least for the Forward Project. I'm not sure about his other ones. Red Rocket, I'm not sure. Probably not for the first one, but I'm expecting that he at least got in for the Forward Project. I think so. If not, then it's time for a nomination from him, because he just uses the filming technique so well, and he does just a great job just keeping you locked in, even though his films can have a slow pace at times, kind of meander, go in the same spot, but you still feel locked into these characters. He does a great job at kind of just locking in on one character and just telling their story. And I really think he does a great job with that. And I think it's just his time to win. So yeah, I have him first right now. For Best Actress in the race, I put Demi Moore in 7th place for The Substance. You know, I'm seeing everyone just talk about The Substance. I saw it. I absolutely loved it. I thought this was just a fantastic movie. Body horror kind of done right. Because sometimes body horror can be done in just a stupid way, either just glorifying body violence, just taking out body parts and all that, kind of like the Terrifier movies. But this one I thought was done in a beautiful way. Demi Moore gives a terrific performance, just like Margaret Qualley. I don't think that she's going to get in though, but Demi Moore, you know, they don't nominate horror movies that much, but I still want to put her in the race because there's just a lot of conversations about her. Critics love this movie, so we'll see how that develops. 6, I have Amy Adams for Night Bitch. I only still have her in the race because Night Bitch actually turned out to be a good movie. I think I've been reading some reviews. It's not really mixed, I would say, but it's like a movie that I see reviews like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, not like 9s or 10s, so I'm going to put her at 6, but it's not as bad as the trailer seems. I think that they should kind of delete that first trailer and just make a new one where the film actually shows what it's about, because I've heard from people that the movie is so much better than the trailer, which it should be better than the trailer because the trailer was terrible. 5, I have Angelina Jolie for Maria. I'm kind of losing hope for her. I have not seen like any movement on this movie. I don't know when it's supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out like in the next 2 months or so. This is also from Netflix. And if they're just going to push Emilia Perez, then I see Maria just falling under it, just not moving anymore. I don't see a lot of terrific reviews for this one. A lot of people are praising just her performance and the costume and production design, and that's not the best. If it doesn't get into picture, then I'm not sure that Angelina Jolie will actually get into actress. And yeah, I don't see any movement for this one. Like, there's no trailer out at all. If there's no trailer out in the next 3 weeks, then I don't know what's going on with this movie. Netflix always focuses on like one movie and then forgets about the rest of them. So we'll see how it breaks out. 4, I have Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl. This is also from A24. Will they focus on this one? I don't know, because it's also releasing on Christmas, I'm pretty sure, which is when The Brutalist is going limited. So they're just releasing like 2 movies back to back, overshadowing each other. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know why they're doing that, but go for it, A24. Go for your silly tactics. The trailer for this was great. I love the trailer for this. She won an award at a film festival. I forgot what the award was called, but I've heard that her performance is, the best part of the movie, which it should be. I've heard the movie is also pretty great. Trailer looks great. I cannot wait to see this. 3, I moved Saoirse Ronan for the Outrun up a couple spots because I'm just hearing fantastic things about her. She has a chance to get double nomination here for Best Actress and Supporting Actress. I'm seeing the Outrun 2 days away from me recording this video right here, so maybe I'll hate her performance. Maybe I'll hate the movie, but who knows? Who knows? I've actually heard mixed things about this movie, but I heard that her performance is great, so who knows how I'll feel about it. 2, I have Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez. I don't see her moving up. I really don't, especially because the movie isn't getting fully positive reviews. Her performance could be, amazing, perfect, but she's also sharing the screen with like Zoe Saldana, Selena Gomez and all that. So she's sharing the screen with the other 2 supporting actresses. So this really isn't her movie. Sure, she's a leading actress, but she's got to share the screen with 2 other actresses. So who the heck knows? So that's why I have Mikey Madison number 1 still. She hasn't moved. This is kind of like last year when I had Emma Stone at number 1 for like 4 months. She never moved for me, and guess what? She won. Mikey Madison, she might be too young. This might be her first nomination, but that doesn't make it, that doesn't make it impossible. I'd say it's still possible for her. The marketing for Anora is great. It's just going to keep flowing and flowing. The talk about this movie, if Neon positions this correctly, with them doing limited October, November wide, December, probably like Christmas or something, release on digital, just keep it flowing throughout the rest of the year. They'll have a great campaign. I don't care. I don't care if it's her first nomination. I still have hope for her. I think it's going to work out like last year. I had Emma Stone number 1. She won. Mikey Madison number 1. I'm predicting her to win. Best actor in the race at number 7, I got Nicholas Hoult for Juror number 2. This is a new addition to this list. As I said, I put this movie in Best Picture. I think that this movie is going to get good reviews. I think it will do some great things. It's looking like, as I said, Clint Eastwood's last movie, so that holds a little more impact to its nominations, how many it will get. Usually Clint Eastwood movies do pretty well with nominations, even if sometimes his movies aren't the greatest. And Nicholas Hoult, he's the lead of this movie, and it's a courtroom drama. Usually those do well. This movie only has like 2 or 3 main actors in it to really look at. Nicholas Hoult, I feel like he could get in there. 6, I have Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. This is gaining a lot of momentum. I'm not sure why. That's why I didn't put it in the top 5. I'm just not sure why, because I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it, I think, this week or next week. But if I was to put Sebastian Stan in the race for anything, it would be A Different Man, because I think that's his best performance in his whole career. But maybe The Apprentice, he gives a fantastic performance. I've seen the footage from the movie, though. He does kind of look like Donald Trump, but he didn't really change his voice at all, so I'm not sure where all this hype is coming from for his performance here. I wish he was getting a lot more recognition for A Different Man, but that's A24's fault. But we'll see how Sebastian Stan, how that goes for him. 5, I have Daniel Craig for Queer. I think this hasn't changed. I'm not sure about Queer, but I think that Best Actor is pretty open right now. Really, I only have like three or four spots locked up for Best Actor. So number 4, number 5 spot could really be taken over for anyone. Like Nicholas Hoult could rise if Juror number 2 is very good. Daniel Craig for Queer, he could drop if Queer just turns out to be crash and burn, because A24 crash and burn with that marketing. 4, Ray Fiennes for Conclave. Pretty sure I'm locking him in at number 4. I'm not gonna put him up any higher, even when I do see the movie. I'm expecting a fantastic performance, but I just don't feel like Conclave could get the win here. 3, Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. It's a biopic. He's going to get nominated for a biopic. Usually everyone is. But Timothée Chalamet is one of the people who gives his all in every one of his performances. He's going to be fantastic. Probably another trailer will launch for that movie pretty soon, because it's only 2 months out. 2, I got Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. Let's talk about 2, number 1. 1, I have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Both A24. Suck at marketing. Who knows? I've just heard better things about Adrian Brody, and Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. Sure, he's my favorite performance of the year, but that movie just, it got so botched and everything. It's going to be A24's biggest loss of the year. Still have it for a couple of nominations, but I just feel like if A24 is going to focus on one, they're going to focus on The Brutalist, and that's why I have Adrian Brody at the top. For Best Supporting Actress in the race, I have Selena Gomez for Emilia Perez. I kind of moved her down just a little bit. I'm not sure how big her performance is going to be in this. I really don't know, because she's sharing votes with Zoe Saldana, so who knows how those votes will split up. 6, I have Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, like the only like actress in that movie that I've seen, so maybe she gets in. 5, Daniel Deadwyler for The Piano Lesson. I moved her down a little bit because that movie's fallen off the face of the earth. I'm pretty sure this is also a Netflix movie. I'm just not sure how they're going to balance all these. I feel like The Piano Lesson and Maria are just going to fall out on their own. 2 movies still have no, actually Piano Lesson I think does have a trailer. I think I watched it, and it's a very different movie than I was expecting. Daniel Deadwyler, though, she's gotten the most praise from the reviews from the festivals, so I put her at number 5. 4, Toni Collette for Juror number 2. Only reason she's in and Nicholas Holt's not in for me now is Toni Collette, she's kind of like, a fantastic actress. She got robbed for Hereditary, which sucks. But Juror number 2, I just think it could get in. Supporting actress is also a pretty interesting zone we're playing with here, where I think the spots of 4 and 5 are also pretty open. So we'll see how that works out. 3 of Saoirse Ronan for Blitz. This would be her second nomination of this year if she got in for The Outrun and Blitz, which I think she will, because I think supporting actress is open, and I think that she looks great in Blitz. I do really love her in this trailer. She looks great. Looks like she's holding a lot of emotion. So yeah, I think that she will get in for this one also. 2, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. I actually moved her down from number 1 just because we haven't seen anything. But Felicity Jones always turns in a great performance. I haven't seen her in a movie for a while, though, it feels like, so I'm happy to see her in this. 1, I have Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. I loved her in that new trailer. I thought she looked pretty great. Supposedly she has the most scenes outside, comparing her to Selena Gomez. So I have Zoe Saldana winning for supporting actress. For supporting actor in the race, I have Mark. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. I'm very sorry, but that is the main supporting actor from Anora. He looks very funny in this trailer. I have him just gaining momentum because Anora is getting a lot of momentum, so I put him in there. 6, Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. I guess this movie is just gaining a lot of momentum. Also, not really sure why or how. Maybe it's a great movie. I'm not sure. 5, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown. I still have him in there. I'm not sure, though, on this. I think that he is going to get in. Edward Norton is pretty respected in the Academy usually, even though he's not the greatest person I've heard. 4, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. Just hearing that he's the biggest standout of this movie along with its script, and I really love what he's doing in this trailer. 3, Denzel Washington for Gladiator 2. You might think I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm in love with his performance in these 2 trailers, and just love the aura that he's giving off. He's giving off, I don't know if he's the villain, but he's giving off kind of villain vibes, giving some great speeches in these trailers, and I'm like, it's Denzel Washington, for God's sake. If this movie is even good or great, and I'm pretty sure he has a chance of getting in at least. 2, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist. I'm not sure. I love how I moved The Brutalist down to like number 2 in a lot of these categories, just because I'm waiting for that trailer. Sure, if a trailer comes out in November and it looks fantastic, if they show Guy Pearce, I'll move him up to number 1. Number 1, though, I'm going to keep Clarence Macklin for now for Sing Sing, because he has the best narrative. I mean, he was in the institution in this program, for God's sake. I think his narrative is just so strong. And if you see him winning at other places before the Oscars, giving these epic speeches, because speeches mean a lot for some reason with Academy voting, I think he could give some great speeches about the program that he's in. So I think he's going to win over Guy Pearce, because I've heard that Guy Pearce isn't really, in the movie that much. Clarence Macklin has Oscar scenes, and that's what matters. So I got Clarence Macklin winning it. Let's talk about our 2 screenplay categories. We'll start with the original screenplay first. Number 7, I got Challengers. I moved this one out of the top 5 just because it came out too early. Number 6, I have September 5, which is kind of like the movie about the Olympics. in a hostage situation there. I forgot which Olympics it was. I forgot what year this took place, but this one actually is going to come out this year. Pretty sure it's going to come out in November, so look forward to a trailer for that pretty soon. Number 5, I have Juror number 2. As I said, courtroom drama. It's probably going to get nomination. Usually they do. Usually all of them do if they're at least good. And Clint Eastwood knows how to like direct at least a decent movie, so I'd assume it's good. For Real Pain, pretty sure that this one could get in. It looks like a screenplay type of movie, and if you don't know what that is, it's a movie with a lot of talking, a lot of rambling, and a lot of speeches, and this one looks like that from the trailer. 3, Saturday Night. This one is, I think one of the most likely ones to get in. I've seen a lot of people say they love the script. It's a very, back and forth kind of screenplay with a lot going on. Very hectic movie. I'm seeing it this week. Very excited. 2, The Brutalist. It's an original 3.5 hour epic. For God's sake, just put it in there already. Number 1, though, I still have Anora. It might not be the strongest script I've heard, but it has the most momentum at the moment. I kind of do see how The Brutalist I could put above that. But at the same time, I'm going to wait till more people see The Brutalist because it's only like a handful of people have seen that movie. Haven't really seen a lot of people talk about the script. I've heard Anora is very three-dimensional. I guess you could say that. It deals with sex workers, and you know how he loves to deal with that. Sean Baker loves to play with that idea. I feel like he plays with it very well and very respectfully. Has a lot of comedic moments, has a lot of dramatic moments. So yeah, I feel like it balances all those pretty greatly, I've heard. So I'm gonna keep it at number 1. For best adapted screenplay in the race, I put Hitman at number 7. This is the first time I've mentioned Hitman in the Oscars prediction. I mean, it came out a long time ago. Maybe they'll put a campaign out for it, but I'm just not sure. It's a really great script, though, so I'll put it at number 7. I feel like this could be kind of open, but I'm kind of locked down in my top 5. 6, I have Queer. As I said, kind of locked down in my top 5, so I don't see a point. 5, Amelia Perez. It's a musical mixed with like a drug cartel kind of drama. It could be a very interesting script, even though it is messy. 4, Conclave. It's based off a book, so that's already going for it. And I've heard it's a pretty fresh screenplay, a pretty great one. 3, Nickel Boys, also based off a book. A lot of based off books here, but that's okay. Usually that's great. I've read actually a little bit about this book, and I've read a little bit. The first 3 chapters. Usually when a movie comes out that's based on a book, I don't try to read the book unless it was Dune Part 2, then I read the book. Nickel Boys, I'm going to stay a little bit away from that book just because I've heard it mixed a little bit of changes. It could be pretty strong. Sing 2, Sing Sing. It's an amazing screenplay. If you do get a chance to see this whenever it does come out on digital, watch it. 1, though, Dune Part 2, the hardest book to ever adapt. I think everyone says at least once to Denis Villeneuve. I think he said it himself. So why not just give it to him? Because I'm pretty sure the first one won, so just give him the second one also. For best international feature, none in the race because I haven't even seen any of these. International features are funny for me because I hardly get to see all 5 last year. I think I only saw 3 because hardly any of them come to where I live. But we'll make a small guess here. 5, The Girl with the Needle. Don't even know what it's about. 4, All We Can Imagine Is Light. I've heard a little bit about this one. 3, I'm Still Here. Haven't heard anything. 2, The Seed of a Sacred Fig. I've heard a little bit about this one. I really am interested in seeing this one. Hopefully it comes to my market. 1, Amelia Perez. Netflix is going to push this one the most out of any of their movies. It'll probably be the most successful international film, not in box office wise, but most people are probably going to see it. So I'm going to keep that number 1. For best animated feature in the race, 7, I have Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. I get so mad when this trailer comes out in theaters, and I think other people do. It like blue balls you, showing the live action Lord of the Rings. You're like, oh my god, it's a new live action Lord of the Rings. But no, they changed it to animation to the last second. I'm really interested in this movie. I think it's going to be lost in the shuffle of all the other December movies. Could be pretty great though. 6, Wallace and Gromit, that new Netflix movie. I'm not sure how that's going to get in, but maybe. 5, Moana 2. The first one was a big success. The first one got into Best Animated Feature. I'm pretty sure it also won for Best Animated Feature, but we'll see. Sequels sometimes don't win, so that's why I still have a nomination, not even close to number 1. 4, Memoir of a Snail. I'm in love with this trailer. I don't know when it's going to come out. Don't even know if I'll see it in theaters. I can't wait to watch it though. 3, Flow. I went to a movie today in theaters and saw the trailer for this on the big screen, and I'm like, holy smokes, this movie looks fantastic. It kind of looks like if you played the game Stray with the cat, kind of looks like that in a way that This looks like a video game. It looks like someone is playing a video game and you're just watching it like a movie. The animation is I think the best I've seen the whole year. It looks and flows, no pun intended there, so well. Hopefully I get to see this one in theaters, because just from that trailer, man, that experience was amazing. 2 Inside Out 2, it's a huge success. It's the biggest Pixar movie ever, I think, right now, with like 1.6 billion or so. Highest grossing movie of the year so far. I just don't see a world that it doesn't get in, but it's also a sequel, so I don't have it winning. I have The Wild Robot winning. I think it is the best reviewed animated movie of the year so far. It's my favorite animated movie of the year so far. Touched me very deeply. If you haven't seen it yet, I do recommend it. It kind of reminded me of Wall-E, kind of like The Iron Giant. It's really about nature and all that, preserving nature, animals and all that. Kind of about animals and technology. It's really beautifully animated. Kind of reminded me of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, because they're both from DreamWorks. DreamWorks is doing these things with their big animated movies, making like pastel paintings and it looks beautiful. So I'm going to keep Wild Robot at number 1. For the technical awards, we'll start with Best Cinematography in the race. I got Conclave. It's not looking flashy, and we know cinematography needs to be at least a little flashy to get in for an award here. 6 Eye of Anora. This one looks a little flashy, but at the same time, I don't know if it's going to be cinematography really heavy. I heard there is a very big one-shot sequence in this that could actually push you in there, but I'm not going to put it in number 5 until I do see it in about, 3 to 5 weeks, whenever that is. Number 5, Mila Perez. The trailer looks beautifully shot with a lot of great lighting and all that. I know lighting isn't this category, but it plays into kind of cinematography in a way. But yeah, it looks great. 4, Nickel Boys. We're talking about the experimental first-person POV. So why not have it in there for the nomination just for being experimental? 3, Nosferatu. I'm putting a lot of stock into this movie after seeing that second trailer. If you haven't seen the new trailer for Nosferatu, watch it. It looks absolutely fantastic. It might be the best looking movie of the year. I love what Robert Eggers does with his movies. They look fantastic. And that was like trailer of the year for me, outside of like Dune and all that. It did a lot for me watching that trailer. The technical aspects of this movie are going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be another Robert Eggers movie that's going to get some great reviews, just like its other ones. It's a horror movie, but I don't think that it will stop it from getting into technical categories, maybe. But I'm still going to put a lot of stock in it, so I'm going to keep it in cinematography. To the Brutalist, you're looking at like an architect kind of movie about, buildings and all that. Very big kind of structures and all that, so put it in there. 1, Dune Part 2, don't care that the first one, I don't care. This movie is shot brilliantly. The best shot movie I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, holy crap, just put it in there. For best editing, I moved Challengers down a couple spots because it came out too early, as I said. I don't know, Hype Train might move up. Maybe they should re-release it back in theaters in like December or January. I think they should. It'd be really cool. But yeah, editing is very great on that movie. 6, Amelia Perez. The editing is kind of crazy in that trailer. Oh my god. 5, I have Conclave. It's a very talkative kind of movie, back and forth, just like Saturday Night. Hectic movie, edit. Saturday Night editing, a lot of editing going on. Hectic, back and forth. Put it in there. 3, Anora. I've heard the editing is fantastic. 2, The Brutalist, 3.5 hour epic. I pray for whoever has to edit that movie. Dune Part 2, though, also, I don't care that the first one, I think the first one won, but yeah, Dune Part 2, number 1. For Best Production Design, one of my favorite categories, 7, I have Furiosa. Drop this one just a little bit, because it's a lot of CGI in there and a lot of compositing issues. 6, I have Blitz. The production line looks great. 5, Nosferatu. Give me that. Keep putting it in there. I don't care. Production line looks out of this world. 4, Wicked. They planted like hundreds of thousands of flowers or whatever, tulips. I don't know. But yeah, it takes a lot of work. 3, The Brutalist. 3.5 hour epic. That's all I'll keep saying. 2, Gladiator 2. The production looks great on this one. Not sure how much is actually built sets and how much of it is CG, but I don't really see a lot of CG in the trailers. I think it looks pretty great. Usually, like in these bigger blockbusters like Furiosa, you could see the CG in the trailers, but Gladiator 2 I don't see a lot. Dune Part 2, though, keep putting it in there. Don't care. I would literally show you, if you just look at the movie or rewatch the movie and you can see that a lot of this is just on set kind of stuff. The CGI is there. There's a lot of CGI in this movie, and action sequences, but just a lot of it's built. I would say that the first one has a lot more built for that movie, a lot more sets in that movie because they're mostly inside. This one has less because it deals in the desert a lot of the times, but when it is inside, like the Harkonnen planet, that's crazy. Like, I also do recommend getting the Dune Part 2 art book. I have that, and it just shows you what they did for this movie, and it's kind of spectacular. Best costume design, also one of my favorite categories, and I can brag. Last year, everyone thought Barbie was going to win, but I picked Poor Things for like 4 months in a row, and Poor Things did win. I love costume designs. I love how great they can be, how out there. Seven, Maria, I've heard it has a lot of costumes in there, but it's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. I don't care. I don't think it is. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe in March I'll be wrong, February, whenever it is. Right now, I just don't care. No trailer out for this movie that I've seen. One clip. Where's the movement on these movies? Netflix markets their movies like a week or two before they come out. That's not how it should work. 6, Blitz. The costumes look great. Period kind of piece there. 5, Nosferatu. Give me that. Give me that period piece. Give me all those different costumes. It looks beautiful. It's not as bright as you'd want it for costume design, but still, when you're dealing with a period piece like this and like horror, you're not going to use a lot of bright colors. It's kind of like a black and white in some scenes. I'd still love the look of them though. For the Brutalist, I'm not sure how many costumes we're going to be dealing with. We'll see in the trailer, but still put it in there. 3, Gladiator 2. The costumes look very colorful, very out there. Kind of better than Gladiator 1, even though Gladiator 1 has some great costumes. I do love the looks of some of these like emperors and what they're wearing though. Not a lot, a lot of it's kind of like the armor and all that, what Paul Mescal's wearing. A lot of the Joseph Quinn stuff, what he's wearing, Denzel Washington, looks really good. 2, Wicked, you're dealing with a lot of colors, a lot of bright colors. The lighting on this movie is crazy. This movie has like no dark spots. It's kind of insane if you watch the trailer. But yeah, they're just trying to show off all the colors, all the reds, all the pinks, all the greens, and all that, all the blues. As a lot of different costumes, it's probably going to get in. But number 1, I have Dune Part 2 winning. If you kind of compare the first one and this one, they actually have a lot of different costumes in this one. Timothée Chalamet in the first one, a lot of Atreides kind of wardrobe. This one, a lot of Fremen wardrobe. You see Rebecca Ferguson in a lot of different wardrobe, the Harkonnens and all that. The Emperor, Florence Pugh's wardrobe is actually the best of the movie, I would say. It's very unique stuff. For best makeup and hair, this is one of the most interesting categories to talk about at this time. Number 7, I have The Apprentice. Yeah, I think he makes Sebastian Stan look like Donald Trump pretty nicely, but nothing was really done on his face, I don't think. Just like the hair and all that, so I'll keep him pretty low. 6, I have Wicked. You're dealing with a lot of makeup and all that for this one, a lot of hair stuff. So it's pretty close to getting in, but our top 5 is really kind of set for me right now. 5 of a Different Man, that makeup work that was done on Sebastian Stan was kind of out of this world. It looks fantastic, and it makes him just look like Adam Pearson, like almost to a fine point. I loved how it looked. 4, Beetlejuice. It's a very production makeup kind of heavy movie. A lot of makeup going on, different characters here. I loved all the different hair and just stuff on that one. I almost had it in costume design, but I kind of moved it out. 3, Dune Part 2, just like the first one. 2, Nosferatu. I cannot wait to see what Bill Skarsgård looks like. I think they're saving it for the movie, but I cannot wait to see that look. 1, I have The Substance. It's a horror movie, but oh my god, the makeup on this movie is, it is perfect. If you've seen the movie and you know what scene I'm talking about, there's a very old, ragged look of a person and of a lady in this one, and she looks, oh my god, she looks so realistic. You would actually think that that's a 110-year-old person with the craziest bones and skin in their whole body. I mean, some makeup work looks very fake, like kind of see-through and all that, but this makeup work on this movie, man, oh my god, lock it up, please. Just give him the Oscar. I don't care if it's a horror movie. Give this movie the Oscar. For best visual effects, let's talk about 7, Alien Romulus. Dropped just a little bit. I don't know how that campaign's going to go. Disney has a lot of other ones to kind of run. 6, Mufasa. I think it could get in. I think maybe if I was going to switch it, I'd put Mufasa in at number 5. Not sure at the moment, but the first The Lion King 2019 got in for visual effects, so why not? Maybe last thought on this, I'd probably put Mufasa over Furiosa. So Furiosa, dropped that to number 6 right there. 4, I got Twisters. It was really great visual effects, a lot of great stuff there. It didn't look fake at all. 3, Gladiator 2, from the trailers, the visual effects looked nice. You got some CGI monkeys in there that look pretty great. 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The Apes movies usually get in, but they never win because they're always going against a juggernaut of a movie. This year, it's Dune Part 2. Yeah, lock it up. I don't care if the first one won. It just depends on the quality for me. So I think this one has a lot of visual effects, and I think at points, I think it has more visual effects than the first one. Like the spice harvesters, oh my god, just the beams of shooting lights and all that. In the third act, oh my god, the explosion in the third act looked brilliant. So yeah, the apes are going to lose once again. For best sound, this isn't really a category that I talk about that much, but 7, Nosferatu, maybe. 6, Wicked, I'm thinking about putting that in the 5, but number 5, I got the Brutalist. Heard great things about the sound in this one, sound design. 4, Emilia Perez, when you're dealing with the musical, it's usually going to get in, usually. 3, Gladiator 2, a lot of sword, combat kind of crap, a lot of gunfire. I'm not sure if Napoleon got in. Maybe Napoleon got in for like 2 or something like that. But yeah, I'll put Gladiator 2 in there. 2, Blitz, a lot of bombs going off, like crazy war stuff going on. Usually war movies can get in for sound. Number 1 though, I got Dune Part 2, once again. For best score, my favorite category to talk about in the race, The Wild Robot, number 7. It's a fantastic score, just don't see it getting in anymore, sadly. 6, Challengers, my second favorite score of the year. I really hope it gets in, but I just don't know at this point. I don't know if they're going to really campaign this one very well, so I'll give it a 6. 5, Nosferatu. Yeah, a lot of people might think I'm crazy, but I really urge you to go look up the first 2 tracks of score that was released, because they released some with the trailer, and oh my god, they sound brilliant. Oh my goodness gracious, those 2 tracks sound great. If it was up to me though, I'd put A Different Man in here, but I just don't think it has a chance, because the Different Man soundtrack has been on repeat for me for the last couple days. It is one of the best scores of the year. 4, Saturday Night, seeing it in a couple days. I've heard the score is great. John Batista's doing it, and he's very well known. 3, Conclave, heard a lot of great things about this score. Heard it kind of ramps up and all that through the movie. 2, The Brutalist, usually a 3.5 hour epic is going to get nominated. If it's going to get nominated for a lot of other stuff, just put it in score. Number 1, Dune Part 2. People saying, you know, he already won for Dune Part 1. But I would say there's a lot of different stuff in this score. You know, there's not a lot of the same stuff. Maybe like just the Screaming Lady is the same thing, but there's a lot of different stuff. And just hearing just 2 tracks, if I played you 2 tracks of score for that movie, you'd say lock it up. The one where Paul and Chani are kissing on the sand dune for the first time, oh my god, best track of the year. Lock it up. Another great track was probably just the opening score. I'd say the opening score, that was also very great. But that just Paul and Chani kissing on the sand dune, best track of the year. Oh my goodness. For our last category, it's best original song. In the race here, the 688. I'm not sure. I think that's the movie title. I don't think that's I don't have any of the song titles here, but that movie is, I heard, coming out soon. 6 Piece by Piece. It's a lot of reused music, but he's gonna have some original songs for this. I think like 1 or 2. The top 5 though, I got Moana 2. A lot of new songs to be written for this one. I heard a little bit of one song in a new trailer. It sounds pretty good. You don't have Lin-Manuel Miranda here though, so maybe not. 4, Emilia Perez, and also 2 of Emilia Perez. I think you'll get at least 2 songs in for this one. 3, Mufasa. The one about the brother in the second trailer. I think that song actually sounds great. Who knows how many other songs are in it, but that song sounds really good. I got The Wild Robot though at number 1. I love that song in the movie, and it fits so well in the movie. I think it's called Kiss the Sky. It's a fantastic original song, and it fits the story very well, especially with the story around it and what's happening around that song. Yeah, I love that song a lot, so I have it at number 1. But that is my October Oscar predictions. I hope you guys did enjoy it. As I said, leave your own predictions down in the comments. I'd love to discuss it with you. We could all be wrong. We could all be right. That's okay. That's a-okay. But yeah, that's my predictions. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you did enjoy. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.